Welcome to Monza, where the crowd are ready for today's action. And we hope you're ready to see the world's best drivers fighting it out for that #1 spot. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action.
Good evening, race fans, and a very warm welcome to everybody joining us here at Invictus Racing League F2 Division, brought to you by Nailcut Hall Hotel Golf and Country Club and GT Omega Race Seats and Racing Rigs, and in partnership with gridfinder.com and Driver61. My name is Webbo, my first time commentating over the F2 Division, and I will be hopefully here for you consistently from here on in. With my good friend Lightning, who took the helm last week. I just heard a slight tick in my ear, as if possibly Lightning might have just joined us.
Hello everyone, I am here.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah, great to have you with us, Lightning. I'm glad you could make it despite the storm you were suffering. And thanks to everyone who has already tuned in and said hello. That's the end of the session, so Lightning, I'd be grateful if you could take us through the starting order.
Absolutely. So on pole position we have Ivan Belov with a 1:20.383, followed by Mr. Steen and Ginger Tiger finishing out the top 3, and then Russman, Kuipers, Simon Palmer, Nitro Gash, Joe Hamster, Cool 132 and Steele finish out the top 10, and then Tadeli, Eric Pancakes, Office Red, F1 Richard and Tyra finish out the rest of the grid with a very, very close qualifying.
It was indeed. We just need to see how quick Tyrek can be. He's down there in the Ferrari. Nice spread of team positions as well. Doesn't look like any team particularly is going to dominate at this early part of the season.
Well, I'm going to keep my eye on McLaren because I know that Nitro has very good race pace, as I saw last time out.
Yeah, McLaren lead the championship currently on 21 points from joint second and third places, only on 12 Aston Martin and Williams. So I know very early signs. I did get a dry weather notification from the drivers, but it does look overcast again. Maybe that's just the way we roll in Monza. It was the same last night.
Really was.
Got me a little bit excited there. Of course, I don't know if the forecast is on perfect or approximate, but we will wait and see. I think there's going to be plenty of action still to come, despite a dry session. The drivers, though, Lightning, will probably prefer a dry session here at Monza.
Yeah, having a wet race is just adds a lot more pressure, a lot more possibility for mistakes, which no one really wants if they're driving.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we'd love to see everyone's predictions for the race. Delange was almost there. He was right that Steen got the 20.4, but it wasn't the pole. So what about the win? Who does everyone fancy for the win today? Will Ivan Belov hold on for a very good result, or will we see anybody? Does anyone surprise you, Lightning, at this point, being slower than you were expecting through the qualifying session?
Well, last time out I spoke to Nitro and he said that he was going to try and improve his qualifying. He went from 13th last race now to 7th, but
nice.
I'm hoping for good results from him. Kuipers also is a fan favourite.
Yes, we see Burmeister joining us actually and saying Kuiper's first podium is his prediction. Burmeister,
yeah,
thanks for joining us, and also tell me where Abby was yesterday.
Yeah, Abby. She usually always there, but last time out, no messages.
No.
Oh well. Poor Burmeister.
Haven't said hello to Kelvin yet, who's joined us in the chat. Ryan had to disappear and go practice his French for an exam. Haven't said hello to Pesman. To I think I have to Delange. I mean, certainly he needs no introduction at the moment. But welcome one and all to this race. We are getting going. Amazon suggest a one-stopper, a soft to medium, or a soft to hard. But we know what to think about Amazon predictions within this game, at least.
They're not very reliable, shall we say.
So Delange predicting Tirac is going to come from last to P3. Steen and Ivan hold on to their starting positions. If anyone holds on to their starting position, Lightning, I'm going to be pretty surprised out of this.
Yeah, I would be as well. The first lap especially is always quite chaotic.
Yeah, so we've got soft tyres, as you would expect, on the top 10, but also on Office Red, the remaining 4 drivers on medium tyres. 15 drivers will take the start of our race, and hopefully we can proceed without any enjoyable glitches. We had one last night that ruined the start. I had one earlier this evening that forced a double lobby rebuild, so I'm hoping for a clearer run.
That sounds quite eventful.
Yeah.
Is it a sideways car?
It was on last night's F1, but this time it was just lobby dying and crashing. So yeah, anyone who has raced in league racing on this game and the previous one, and maybe the previous one to that, will be familiar with these errors we see frequently. But we get racing in the end. We're excited for a 27 lap race here around Monza for F2. Very interesting to see how many finishes we will get tonight. Let's have some predictions on that. Rent says Nitro for the win, with Russman, Tadelli and Ginger Tiger fighting for the podium. So big claim there. I wonder how much of an advantage these medium tyres are going to lend everybody. And a reminder to you all that we thank our sponsors, GT Omega, Nelka Hall, Hotel, Golf and Country Club, Driver61 and Gridfinder.com, without whom we would not go racing as we do. But Ivan Beloff, Lightning, with a great place to start this race.
He certainly does. I'm hoping that he gets a good start, but I'm also hoping that Steen goes side by side with him, because I want to see some overtakes this race. Lots of battling for the lead like we had last time.
Yeah, well, everyone's almost in their starting positions. We will be underway for you very shortly. There's just time to share the race on socials and get more of your friends involved. We're almost there, though. Let's find a nice camera angle as we go. 5 lights on. And it's lights out, and away we go with Ivan Beloff with a fantastic launch. In fact, Ginger Tiger already getting past Mr. Steen, and Ginger Tiger with the slipstream on the inside of Ivan Beloff. Ivan Beloff will have the opportunity to break down on the outside on the higher grip section of the track. Just tucks the car in front of the front wing of the Aston Martin driver. Russman and Mr. Steen coming very close to one another, but surviving that early one. But it looks like the second McLaren of Nitrogash, Lightning, causing a bit of a hold-up.
Yeah, I saw Joe Hamster going up the inside, tapping Steen on the rear end into turn 1, which didn't help things. And there's a safety car, virtual safety car, sorry.
Virtual safety car, as I'm not quite sure what Russman was doing, trying to make a somewhat half-hearted attempt at an overtake on Mr. Steen. They touched, he just backed out in time and saved the car just as the virtual safety car was announced. We've got a Red Bull at the back of the field. It's Eric Pancakes, who did not make it to Curva Grande. Unfortunately, is out of the race, triggering this VSC, and the drivers will now try and keep those tyres up to temperature, or generate some temperature. It was a bit early in that race. Nitro has damage, reports Rents. I'm assuming that he's in a chat with him, unless it's visible from the outside, although I don't see why he would have seen that if I wasn't showing it on stream. But no visible damage, but we'll see if Nitrogash feels like it's bad enough to head into the pits. 1 second the gap at the front from Ivan Beloff, Ginger Tiger, then Mr. Steen. Ginger Tiger making up the places there from the outset at the front of the grid. But we also saw Joe Hamster make up 3, Office Red up 4.
Simon might have damage. He is going to the pits to change his wing. I don't think Nitro does. I did look at his wing, but he did get overtaken by Kuipers, but I think they're just... Kuipers has no wing, so that might be an issue.
This is a long safety car. We've got 3 guys in the pit stop having changes made. We go green, though. We go green right now, and the drivers head towards the Variante della Roggia at full racing speed. McLaren of Nitro Gas all over the road, so really struggling with the handling of the car. Rent was saying that Nitro hit Russman, and then Burmeister saying Nitro hit Kuipers. So lots of reports here from the live audience from
there's a
negative
sorry,
towards
there's a
Nitro.
Spin for Steele in P11.
So there is, yeah.
And also Ginger was making a bit of a mistake into the exit of the second chicane, putting him under pressure from Steen, but everything's staying as it was.
Yeah, we will probably have to wait an extra lap, will we? No, we won't, after a VSC for DRS to be enabled. They will cross the line now. Ivan Beloff with the new fastest lap, quickly beaten by Joe Hamster, down there in 5th position right now. And we'll see if DRS will be enabled. Office Red gets fastest lap as well. So if everyone would just stop getting fastest lap, we will see DRS enabled. There we go. So we will get underway. It's an immediate enabling of the DRS after the VSC. Well, you have to wait after a full safety car, but I think Joe Hamster isn't going to wait for DRS as he's getting a great toe down. Curva Grande tucks in behind Russman, doesn't want to go for a move into Della Roggia. It's a very risky place, especially when you're this close to the car in front. He will gain DRS on the next run down towards Ascari, but wow, getting a great run going through Lesmo 1. But it's Lesmo 2 you want the best run through. Here we go then. DRS open. Russman goes to the inside. I think Joe Hamster's going to have this one very easily. Yeah, he's already passed. They haven't even gone under the old circuit yet. And down into the braking zone. P4 for Joe Hamster on lap 3. The McLaren drivers now together in the race order. Nitrogas seemingly getting the car back under control out there. And Ginger Tiger is closing in on the lead.
It's looking very close between the top 4, in fact. Joe Hamster is on a charge. He's looking very, very quick at the moment, from P8 to now P4. I was on board with him at the start, and he just had an absolute rocket launch from lights out. Straight away making moves.
Well, Ginger Tiger not able to get close enough to challenge, but is now within 3/4 of a second of the lead. Currently held by Ivan Beloff. And of course he was our pole sitter, so you wouldn't begrudge him having the lead at this point. A little bit of some places being traded further in the background. I see Tyra getting past Kuipers, so it's not really going to plan. Nobody tried hard tyres, Lightning, from that early pit stop, so we've gone on to a mixture of softs and mediums. I'm not sure either of those will be comfortable to the end of this race.
No, the mediums won't make it to the end, but I think the drivers might be banking on a safety car or a virtual safety car to bring them back into the race.
Yeah, certainly a strong chance of that, as Ginger Tiger got within 3/10 heading in towards Ascari. Goes very wide on the way out of Ascari, but may have given up a warning in so doing. He'll try and stay on terms with Ivan Beloff as they head towards Parabolica. They head into the braking zone, and it's 6/10. It's identical gaps between first and second and third. Simon Palmer with a 3-second penalty, multiple warnings, 18 seconds off 10th place. But Ginger Tiger with the best run he's had yet on Ivan Beloff, who goes towards the pit exit, towards the inside. Doesn't worry too much about Ginger Tiger, and he's concentrating on his braking zone. Successfully got the car stopped, and again Ginger Tiger having to wait to make a move.
Good defending there from Ivan, making sure that he covers it off and all fair, which is even more important. Joe Hamster, his pace was looking absolutely fantastic, but it seems to have dropped off a little bit now.
Yeah, we can sometimes see these softs die off pretty quickly, but that would be a bit soon.
I mean, I guess if you push the softs a little bit too much, then they will give way a little bit sooner. Overheating problems if you forget to put your tyre pressures down.
We have a nice close field here in the top 10. You can see on the track map just how close they all are. Of course, incidents affecting and damage affecting the other drivers further back, but a simple safety car will help.
From Russman, going really wide at the second part of the Ascari chicane.
He's got his teammate caught right up behind him, but I'm just keeping my eye on Ginger Tiger, who gets mid-parabolica, 1/4 of a second away from the lead. He's now less than 3/10 as the DRS takes effect. I'm not sure Ivan Belov's going to be able to battle this one. The run was way too strong, and Ginger Tiger, he earned the DRS by staying with him through Parabolica and Ascari before, and takes the lead on lap 6. Ginger Tiger then with some strong pace. I wonder how much of the pace difference he had was DRS and how much was inherent pace. We will see if Ivan Belov can hang on.
Hopefully we do see a battle between these two for the win here today. Meanwhile, Tyra had a huge mistake through Lesmo 1 and has spun. He's still in the race, and no damage that I can see.
Yeah, we're doing well so far for valid drivers staying in the race out there. It's a very difficult place to go racing, especially in this game, but I can't say it's any different from the previous iteration or even other games like Gran Turismo, where I've seen it can still be pretty treacherous out there. Even with the high grip GT cars, it can be difficult, but it's just one of those tracks. Very difficult to get around at the kind of pace these guys are driving and the kind of level of pushing that they're having to go through. So Ivan Belov is just outside 7/10 as they go through Parabolica. He should get a good run though. Here he goes with some great overspeed. He might even be challenging for the lead again. Dives down the inside. Ginger Tiger with better braking performance closes the door. Ivan Belov loses grip suddenly, backs out and keeps the car alive, but that looked a little bit rough from Ginger Tiger, possibly very late on the brakes.
He did squeeze him to the apex. I'm not sure that will warrant any investigation, but it's something for Ivan to be wary of, just in case.
Yes, indeed. He's going to have to be fully past Ginger Tiger before being secure into the Rettifilio chicane, unless he manages to catch him unawares. Huge speed on the entry into Lesmo 2 for Ivan Belov. I wonder if there was a slight difference in approach to the corner from Ginger Tiger that time. Ivan Belov with DRS as they approach Ascari, doesn't go for it. Perhaps that was sensible.
I thought it was going to be contact there. It was such amazing closing speed.
Round goes Joe Hamster, and out of the race.
Goodness me.
In the background, just saw Joe Hamster spin on Ascari, take a corner off the car, and good night, Joe Hamster. You are done, I'm afraid. Out of the race he goes, and a safety car has been awarded as Ginger Tiger slows the car drastically to get within the delta and head on into the pits, joined by Ivan Belov. Mr. Steen, I would have thought nearly everybody will pit, especially if they started on softs here, Lightning.
Yeah, absolutely. This has completely saved the race for the drivers who had to pit at the start of the race that had damage, the likes of Simon and Kuipers, and also the spinners of Tyra and Steele. But yeah, Joe Hamster on pole last race, completely messed up the start, went back to 8th, spun again, and then went into the lead and then DNF'd. And now this race, from 8th to 4th to DNF. So yeah, I know he's got the speed, and I know he has the ability to overtake, but to keep it together, I guess not at the moment.
No, you will often see this with drivers who have tremendous speed. It's just a challenge for them sometimes to just dial it down, just dial it back to about pushing at about 90-95% rather than 10/10 all the time. But yeah, fresh tyres for everybody apart from Kuipers and Tyra, who has stayed on his softs. No, he's in as well. So
also F1 Richard, who has stayed out on his medium tyres in the lead of the race. Interesting strategy.
It is, but if he just wants to make this a one-stop and he fancies some track position and some clear air, I think he's going to get swamped though by Ginger Tiger and Ivan Belov. Frankly, it looked like Nitrogas lost ever so slightly in double stacking with his teammate, lost 2 places, but the car was paused And Rents said Joe Hamster's going to get every chance to close up, and then immediately he went and jinxed it. So I think we've got our audience curse in operation tonight.
It's no longer the commentator's curse.
No, thankfully. I do try very hard not to curse people. Steele has gone on to hard tyres with 19 laps to run, so he should almost certainly make the end comfortably. But will he be quick? He'll be at the back of the grid and just hope other people pit in front of him. So still a mixture of tyres out there. Kuipers will be very, very difficult for him to get to the end of this race uninterrupted. But of course, we've had one safety car. We haven't made 1/3 of the race yet, so you can probably expect a further safety car period. Lap 9 ticks over, and F1 Richard, having not pitted, is in the lead of the race, but really the de facto leader is Ginger Tiger from Ivan Beloff, Mr. Steen, Rusman, Cool 132, Tardelli, Nitrogash. We ride with Office Red, with Kuipers behind, and Simon Palmer, Tyrak and Steele having issues at the start, but managing to benefit and catch back all that race time lost to the leaders. They do still lack track position, but they're in a much better position than they were after the first lap.
Meanwhile, Tardelli, on those soft tyres, I think that he's going to have an amazing stint here. Going to get past a lot of drivers if he can keep it together, but we'll see. I think that he will have to make another pit stop later. Those soft tyres will absolutely not make it to the end. 18 laps. It's a little bit too much for them.
Yeah, agreed. Well, we will reset the race with 2/3 left to go. Hopefully, safety car will tell us it will be coming in soon. Rent asks if we have any real-life racing experience. I don't know if he means as drivers or as commentators. Unfortunately, my answer is no to both. I've done a little bit of track day kind of driving, but I've not done any competitive driving. If my virtual driving was anything to go by, I better stay away from the cockpit in real life.
I have immense driving experience because I have played Mario Kart on the Wii, so
nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
I can beat everybody.
And he can dodge a good banana. Well, safety car comes in quite late, mid-corner parabolica. F1 Richard has very little strategic options with which to fight, as Ginger Tiger right behind him, as you will also see Mr. Steen, Ivan Beloff and Russman here battling hard towards the Rettifilio chicane. Mr. Steen down the inside. Ivan Beloff has the corner, should be his. He's well enough ahead, and then it all gets a bit boxed in. Mr. Steen can't get the car out of the Rettifilio, and Rusman steams on by. I'm surprised to not see Tardelli join him. Very, very close in the midfield here, Lightning.
Tardelli up a spot, so is Nitro on Cool, getting overtaken twice. And yeah, it seems like Tardelli's under immense pressure. Nitro up the inside of Lesmo 1. Does he make it work? Yes, he does. Tardelli tries to get the switchback, but he hits Nitro in the rear. I'm not sure if that means he has damage.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a switchback work in the middle of the Lesmos, but he gave it a good old try, didn't he?
He did try, but sadly, I think he just may have gotten damage from that. But we hope not. Hopefully he can fight another day.
Back at the front, Ginger Tiger within 2/10 of Richard. Ginger Tiger is going to get ahead at the detection point. You don't often see drivers going for that, but he knows that it's not quite time for DRS, and Ivan Beloff will be close behind Richard. Here he comes, just on slipstream alone. He gets by, should be fully away from the driver in front, tries to get a little bit of a toe behind Ginger Tiger, but the leaders, as they were before the pit stop and the safety car, resume again. Ginger Tiger from Ivan Beloff. Hopefully this is going to just be back and forth between these two, nice and clean for the rest of the game.
Meanwhile, Mr. Steen got I think that's in the pit lane.
Interesting.
Mr. Steen got a beautiful switchback on Russman through Parabolica, meaning that he gets a better exit. Oh my goodness, he's just gone onto the grass at the exit of the second chicane, but he is still within touching distance of F1 Richard for another move here.
Has to be save of the day so far. running the grass.
Impressive.
Very, very cool. But yeah, Richard struggling on those tyres. You can see the pace difference as the leaders launch away from him. The McLarens are starting to battle with each other. Rushman and Nitrogash haven't really sorted out who is top dog in the McLaren team just yet. You wouldn't expect them to at this point in the season. I don't know if they've been teammates before. But there goes Mr. Steen past Richard into Parabolica.
Ooh, really wide by Richard there. Nitro really putting the pressure on. And he makes it work, and he's got a huge slipstream on Steen. Will he go
double slipstream.
Double slipstream.
Brilliant stuff.
Steen is draining, so I don't think anything will happen.
No, as they close down towards Rettifilio, it is Mr. Steen successfully past Nitrogash and F1 Richard, but F1 Richard dropping back on those tyres. He needs a safety car, and he needs it pretty quickly to try and rescue this one. Although, I suppose if he's trying to split the race into 2/3, he'll want to run those tyres further and deeper into the race. Oh, big step out from Tadelli as he tries to get underneath Russman into the Lesmo. Beautiful move. I'm pretty sure that was assisted by some ERS deployment in an unusual position. Got a great run out of the Della Roggia chicane and secured the position into Lesmo 1.
I think we're going to see a move here between Ivan and Ginger and Nitro and Steen with this DRS on the start-finish straight. Look how close Ivan is. I think he's going to go for it. ERS levels are similar after the safety car. Everybody managing to save. But, both within roughly half a second.
Here the engine note rise as Ivan Belov gets the slipstream. He's going to be late on the brakes if he's got to do it. Dives down the inside. He's ahead and closes it out. That was a very well positioned and fair raced change of position between both drivers. Looks like Mr. Steen held off Nitrogash in the background, Lightning.
Yeah, he did. But Richard didn't fend off Tadelli, who goes up the inside. Very beautiful move, very clean on those soft tyres against the 10 or 12 lap old mediums now. Rushman, I think he's going to go up the inside of the second chicane. He thinks about it. He thinks about this contact.
That was contact. Yeah, absolutely. He's perhaps not quite careful enough of a driver in front who is on much worse tyres. You do need to give that little bit of margin in the braking zone. But couldn't really do anything about it after he'd refused the option to go for the move. Ivan Belov has retaken the lead on the way. He's held on to that retake of the lead, but it's Ginger Tiger closing in through Ascari and hoping to try and retaliate immediately. So Ivan Belov leads back again, I think for the third time in the race, after taking pole from Ginger Tiger and Mr. Steen. Nitrogash close behind him, and then Tadelli, Richard falling backwards, but perhaps some of that pace drop off has stemmed slightly now.
Rushman got damage from that contact.
Wow.
He is suffering so much understeer. He's in the pit lane. He's got to change his wing. That has that mistake from him has significantly ruined his race. Yeah, into the pits for softs and a new wing.
Softs with what?
Oh no, mediums, I apologise.
13 to go. Yeah, 13 to go would be on the edge of the softs, so probably better to go for a more aggressive using tactic of the next one. We've got Cool and Office Red challenging Richard here, and they're just queuing up, Lightning, at this point in the race to tackle Richard, but he has gained a lot of places as a result of refusing the pit stop, so he'll be relying on the grid order to spread out as it naturally does as the race progresses in order to make that strategy work.
Nitro looking to make a move on Steen, I believe. He's got a lot of ERS, and he's going very, very close to Ascari. Steen is weaving it a bit to try and break the slipstream. Parabolica. What will the exit be for Nitro?
Looks like Ivan Belov holding off Ginger Tiger quite well just ahead of this group. But yeah, good run from Nitro here. DRS open, slipstream in effect, This overspeed looks like it's going to be convincing. Goes to the inside. Mr. Steen didn't close that off fully. They're going to have to do it under the brakes. Late braking from the McLaren, and bounces across the curb goes Mr. Steen.
If that was real life, we'd have another repeat of Lewis versus Max.
We would. He went bouncing over the curb on the second, the apex curb on the second part. But what he didn't do was keep his foot in lightning and go torpedo the driver in front.
No, thankfully not. So he backed out of that in the nick of time.
Absolutely. Well, the Alfa Romeos at their home track close together, 6th and 7th, perhaps the closest of the teammates at this point in the race. Sadly, we lost Tirac, Joe Hamster and Eric Pancakes earlier on. Of course, nightmare race for the Red Bull team, who can't get their championship kick-started comfortably. Some gaps opening out. It's just the leaders and the two Alfa Romeos close together. Kuiper's closing in on F1 Richard as well. Doesn't look like Ginger Tiger's close enough, Lightning, at this point to challenge down into the first corner, unless Ivan makes a mistake on the exit of Parabolica. He's got a good launch.
They both have 90% ERS. They haven't been using it. Just saving it up for the last 10 laps, I guess. Or maybe just for a last few lap attack.
Have we got an accident? Have we got an accident for Kuipers?
Yeah, we have Kuipers. I think he has broken his wing completely for the second time this race. Into the pit lane.
I wonder if he's broken it enough to cause debris on the track. Going through Parabolica.
Simon to see if there's any debris on the circuit.
Certainly seemed to be on the inside of the Parabolica that he lost the car. I can't see anything from the tail runners at the moment. Kuiper's in the pits, not for the first time tonight, but he's mending damage, and he's managed to survive, stay in the race, and it's almost a shame for him that he didn't trigger a safety car to close the field back up.
Yeah, that would have that will be his saving grace, along with Russman's. They both need a safety car.
11 laps to go, and it's a stalemate at the front of the field. As Lightning pointed out, they're not using their ERS very much, these two. Joe Hamster tunes into the driver chat just to say sorry for triggering a safety car. Yes, spun on the Ascari chicane. We did see it happen. It is tricky. It is the Grim Reaper of corners for many a driver's race. Ginger Tiger 6/10 behind Ivan Belov. He's got some overspeed, but I don't think he's going to be close enough as he gets down to within 4/10 into Rettifilio, but it's not enough. Yet again. He
used around 20% of his ERS on that straight just to stay within the DRS range. But a bad exit at the second corner hasn't helped his case.
We wait to see whether we will have a battle for the lead, coming into some sort of conclusion. I think we've got 10 racing laps to go. The drivers will be struggling to get those medium tyres all the way to the end safely. I don't see Tadelli making these softs work. We do think if anyone struggles with tyres, that Steele will be there to pick up the pieces, and we often see late race incidents here in Monza because of the need to focus and make it through corners like Ascari, like the Lesmos, and really stay on the racing line. What's happened with Tadelli?
Tadelli, yeah, a 3-second penalty for cutting the first part of the Ascari chicane by quite a chunk. So that's not going to help his case with the extra pit stop as well. So
the gap got as low as 6/10 in the middle of Parabolica for Ginger Tiger, but it extended again as they apply the throttle. Getting it close again, but still just down to that half-second gap. It's not enough. You need to be starting the start-finish straight with a 6/10 gap with less than a half a second, I think, to make a move. Richard pits now for his soft tyres with 9 to go.
Nitro is pushing so much. His race pace has been fantastic, but the DRS train for Ginger and Ivan is just making them pull away by around half a second to 6/10 per straight. It's just meaning that Nitro is bleeding time and wasting his ERS, whilst the top two get to save it. Ginger on 100%, along with Ivan. So that's just they're going faster without using any battery.
Well, of course, you can't overclock the battery. It can only reach 100%, so you need to be using it a little bit just to benefit your race. But yeah, important to hold on to as much as you can for the end of the race. The battle for 6th place continues with the Alfa Romeos. They haven't finished squabbling this one, unless they're just helping themselves. If they did take turns with the DRS to pass each other, they would bring themselves further up in the order. Ginger Tiger was at risk there through Parabolica Lightning of ducking out of the DRS zone. Yeah,
he was at 9.5 tenths. Ivan's exit of the Ascari chicane was fantastic. Ginger had to use quite a fair bit of ERS on the last straight to stay within that 1 second mark. Meanwhile, Steele gets past Tadelli as he goes into the pits for another set of the softs.
Put yourself in Ivan's position here. Would you rather be using, once you've got to about 8 tenths of a second pre-Ascari, would you rather maybe use some ERS down that 3rd straight just to stretch and try and get out of range of the DRS detection zone at the end on the approach to Parabolica? Or would you want to have it all in hand to use down the start-finish straight?
I think that he has enough to spare to at least try that a couple of times. Like, he has a chance now, but Steen is out of the race.
What
a huge mistake at the exit of Lesmo 2.
I've just seen the car is totaled in the middle of the track. That will surely be a safety car, unless we're on reduced setting. But there we go. Safety car announced. Ivan Belov will not be happy to see that, but he might be tempted into a pit stop here. He's got the most to lose from pitting, and of course Ginger Tiger can make a decision based on what Ivan Belov decides to do. They both go into the pits, so he could have done the opposite there, Lightning.
Well, I think doing the opposite to Ivan there would have completely ruined his race. Ivan's going to go on the soft tyres, and they're both going to feed out relatively close to each other, so eventually he would have been overtaken.
That's true. There was such a gap between 3rd and 4th that anybody pitting for softs would have only lost 2 places. So yeah, as you say, staying out wouldn't have been great. Steele picks up a penalty on the way into the pits, so this hard tyre run followed by a 5-second penalty is going to total his race. I think pretty much we're going to see the whole field come in. No, Simon Palmer stays out to gain some track position. And Russman comes in. Kuipers doesn't necessarily have to come in. No, he's going to gain a few places. Simon Palmer moving his way up then to P7, still directly behind his teammate, and he's the only one on old medium tyres. P7 will be a difficult job to hold on to that as he sees this race out.
Tadelli must be rather frustrated, because if he had stayed out one more lap, he would have had the benefit of pitting under safety car. But I don't think it would have affected him too much, because he's still in 4th place. So I think that he would have been where he is now anyway. Yeah,
I affirm that. It's been a cracking race so far. We've had some larger gaps down the field, but we've never been shy of some peril and some action, and plenty of high quality driving from everybody up and down the grid that survived so far. 11 drivers are still in the cockpit and still trying to get points out of this race. So we will get a good sprint for you at the end, be it 5 or 6 laps of fast-paced action round here. Everyone on soft tyres, with the exception of Simon Palmer, notably wearing the bright magenta helmet as differentiating him from his teammate. But 7th place on medium tyres, not a place I'd rather be. In fact, if I were him and I saw the situation as it stood now, I'd be heading into the pits for softs, and that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, he was listening to you.
Yeah, maybe, which is a very bad habit to get into, I have to say. Or drivers take note. If they start listening to me for strategy, they're going to be in trouble. But he did have a 5-second penalty to pay off as well. Talk of penalties, Tadelli has a 3-second penalty. Steele couldn't pay his 5-second on his same trip into the pits, and he gave up the chance to pay it off on a second time round on the safety car. I've seen drivers do that in the past, Lightning.
Well, you might as well get rid of your penalty. But I have seen some drivers go into the pits to get rid of their penalty under safety car and get another one whilst they do it.
That's true. Yeah, Definitely. That and I remember seeing on a wet race in Brazil on league racing when not a single driver came into the pits and made the pit stop speed limit.
That does sound very funny.
Everybody just triggered one after the other. No one seemed to learn from the people in front of their mistake. Richard has gained 8 places overall. Tadelli 7, but with a penalty, and Office Red 6. So very good performances around the grid so far. Ginger Tiger just the 1, Nitro Gash up 4, and then down 5 each for Russman, Kuipers and Simon Palmer. It's not working out brilliantly, but a nice reset position for everybody. With 6 laps to go, we have got the safety car notifies us it will be coming in now, and Ivan Beloff has plenty of time to condense this field and choose his favourite moment to go.
It's going to be all down to ERS management on these last few laps. Whoever has the most in the last lap or two will probably be decided. And Ivan goes. And he's already got a 6/10 gap.
He's got a great lead, and Nitro Gash is challenging Ginger Tiger now with the slipstream. Ginger Tiger caught slightly napping, just was too far away from the driver in front, Ivan Beloff, and Nitro Gash going for one way, then the other. A double move, really, from Ginger Tiger to the middle of the track. Not fully over, but could be considered making 2 moves on that straight. But they managed to survive the first corner, first chicane. And we have a nice tight race in the top 5 here, challenging for the podium. As we will see, just 5 laps now, 5 complete laps to run.
Nitro already up on his personal best time. These soft tyres are so much faster. It's insane the amount of grip that you get on fresh softs.
Absolutely. In terms of fastest lap, currently it's right lying with Tyra, who is behind and won't pick up the fastest lap point, but he could steal it from anybody else. Nitro Gash getting close, and this is doing Ivan Beloff no end of favours here, with Ginger Tiger having to watch his mirrors, although we get a good run out of Ascari.
Yeah, that was a very good exit. I think Ivan may have made a slight mistake, maybe a bit of a wobble, but he's still commanding that lead. Half a second,
always,
no DRS.
Yeah, as always, focusing on his exit. You could see the line he took. He takes a late apex for a nice V shape through Parabolica and presses the accelerator just that fraction of a second ahead of Ginger Tiger, who cannot close the gap. But Nitro Gash right with Ginger Tiger now. And Cool is getting by Tadelli. Nice.
That was a very good move up the inside. Will Office Red be able to use this battling to his advantage? Nitro Gas made Ginger use up half of his ERS that previous lap, so that's helped out Ivan.
Definitely. It's really looking very, very good for Ivan at this point, but it's early days. We've still got plenty of race to run, and Ascari is hungry for more cars as they head into that very corner for the 23rd time. Ivan Beloff leads. 6/10 is his gap. Ginger Tiger's gap to Nitro Gash, 4/10. Cool and Office Red are too far away.
Oh my goodness,
big moment between Tadelli, was it, and Richard. Possibly Kuipers caught up in that as they squabble, and someone hit the wall.
Yes, Steele was immensely caught up in that as well. That was Tadelli was just going back and back and back, and caused a huge crash when Richard went into the wall, and that made Steele go into the wall.
Rusman gets by Tadelli. Kuipers queues up behind as well. Simon Palmer has gained loads of places. Ginger Tiger with a problem through the Retafilio chicane, and yeah, it's all going wrong.
Goodness me.
Dropping down significantly, and it looks like Ivan Beloff's got outside of the DRS line. So Richard pits, Steele pits, with 3 to go. Ivan Beloff has a 1.5 second gap out of nowhere. I fancy Nitro Gash and Ginger Tiger must have come together given the gap Ivan Beloff has got now.
We were so distracted by the huge crash behind us that we didn't even see the mistake or the crash between Ginger and someone else.
I know Ginger wasn't making a move on Ivan. They were too far apart. I can only guess that he left his braking too late for Rettifilio and then got caught up navigating the corner with Nitrogash.
That is heartbreak for Ginger with just 4 laps to go. A huge incident, sending him back all the way to 9th place, and he's 2.6 seconds away from P8.
Kuipers now with a good run on to Delhi, just 2 tenths back, got the DRS. So is Tadelli in front though, and you can see the overspeed stalling. Rusman derating, but Tadelli very, very late on the brakes, far too late on the brakes. Oh no!
Oh my goodness me!
Oh
he's
no!
Out. Oh no, he's not.
That
How
is
he not out of that
that's
race?
tragic, because that was always going to happen. You feel Kuipers lost the car on traction on the way out of Rettifilio, and Tadelli just not quite leaving a full enough gap to anticipate that, and they came together. Tadelli coming off far worse. Office Red and Cool now up to 3rd and 4th for Alfa Romeo. Office Red gaining 9 positions on his start, and it's all coming the way of Alfa Romeo at their home circuit. Absolute scenes at the end of this race, Lightning.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo just keeping it cool, as one of their drivers is named, and not making seemingly any mistakes, touch wood, and benefiting the most out of any other team.
Yeah, Office Red is going to have to stay within DRS of his teammate if he is going to hold off Rusman, who is screaming up despite the lack of ERS. Takes a narrow line through Parabolica. Ivan Beloff holds on to that 1.5 second gap with 2 laps to run in this epic Italian Grand Prix. Some extreme work going on. Kuipers down the inside of Simon Palmer. Lots of movement along the track. It was far from smooth and easy for Kuipers, but he gets up to P6 after coming together with Tadelli the previous lap. It wouldn't surprise me to see a report coming in. So
Simon's going to go for it, I think, into the second chicane. He's got the slipstream. Will he send up the inside? He looks, but I don't think he's close enough for a move. This is helping Ginger Tiger, trying to catch up to make the race worth something.
Kuipers, Rent's saying Kuipers, I think, has had trouble on throttle the whole race. I wonder if he just needs an adjustment on his setup, try and enable the rear of the car to be a little bit more stable for him. But of course, Lightning, everyone's greedy to take off wing around here in Monza.
They really are, because the straight line speed will inevitably help you out, but sometimes it can catch you out and cause more mistakes.
Yeah, I'd always rather have the grip on a 50-50 call, but that's why I sit in the commentary box and not on the racetrack. Ivan Beloff, 2.1 seconds now with the final lap beginning. Fastest lap for Kuipers as he crosses the line. Still fighting with Simon Palmer, who's going to have a go. Goes to the outside on the braking. We'll have a line into this one and crowds out Kuipers. Holds on, but that looks like a poor exit for both cars out of Rettifilio, and Ginger Tiger screaming up behind them. Might fancy both these cars on the final lap, but hats off so far to Ivan Beloff, who has done everything right so far in the race. He has kept a very cool head, and just half a lap to go now.
Ginger has made a huge mistake into the second chicane. He's gone over that curb the exact way you shouldn't, and he's gone up into the air. He's now spun around.
I had the feeling he was either going to go for it and it was 0 to 0 tonight as he went through into Della Roggia. Unfortunately, out of the race, out of the contention for those places. Look at Rusman. Rusman with a great run. Fantastic stuff, but I've got to cut to Ivan for a nice view of the AlphaTauri running through the Parabolica AlphaTauri, and Ivan Beloff take the victory here in Monza with a commanding performance. Very cool head, very well done. Nitrogash gets second, and Cool finishes just ahead of his team.
Let's go,
the lead.
Let's go! Vamos! Get in there! Let's go!
Simon Palmer gets 6th. Kuipers asterisk next to his name with a P7. Ginger Tiger rescues the car back to P8 for a couple of points, and we see Richard coming out a race of attrition, really, and plan B or C on the way the strategy went. Richard coming through for P9, and then we will probably see Steele and Tadelli cross the line in 10th and 11th. But it all kicked off towards the end there, Lightning.
It really did, and heartbreak for Ginger Tiger. He had the anger from the spin or whatever it was that caused him to go from 2nd to 9th. And because of that, he made a mistake on the last lap. And if he just stayed within the 1.5 seconds he was at, he would have been in P6 because of the penalties for Simon and Kuipers. So, yeah, that was a heartbreaking race for Ginger Tiger.
It was, but brilliant race from Ivan Beloff. Very well-deserved victory. Pole position, he didn't have it all his own way. It wasn't dominant, but it was very smoothly done. Despite a little bit of contact with Ginger Tiger earlier in the race, he prevailed, takes the W, and very good to get a win this early in the season.
It really is going to help him get up the championship order after... I'm not sure where he finished last race, but
it was a DNF last race. Yeah. So
he was in for a good result. He qualified quite well, but got unlucky in the race.
Well, fantastic stuff. So take us through the finishing order, and we'll try and get you some interviews on the podium. So
Ivan Belov with a fantastic performance gets the victory, followed by Nitro Gash from P7, and then Cool and Office Red with P3 and 4 for Alfa Romeo. Fantastic performance. Russman, Simon, Kuipers, Ginger Tiger, and F1 Richard and Steele finish out the points. And then outside of the points, we have Tadelli, Mr. Steen, Tyra, Joe Hampson, Eric Pancakes. We have Steen, Tyra, Joe, and Eric with a DNF, which is unfortunate for them.
So Steele just got stole the fastest lap on the final 2 laps, and finishing in 10th. We'll get the extra point for that one. Brilliant stuff.